go on up more the inside than the outside. So. But it was a river. There's a river going under one of the booths.
Oh, all right.
But 7 o'clock, we'll get Let's get everybody over here real quick before we start the tour. We want to welcome you all to Edison Field. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take about a 40-minute tour through the ballpark and show you some of the changes that we've made already. We're going to, as we go on the route, we're going to go out onto the field, show you all the work that we've done in the seating concourse that you guys will visit when you come to Edison Field this season. And then we'll also go down underneath and see some of the areas that you wouldn't normally go to, like the visitors' locker room and also the Angels' locker room as well. We're going to move relatively quickly through. The field is in pretty good shape. There's no sod down right now, it's just dirt, but we went through and we packed it down and it's not really that wet. Just watch your step. And then we go down through the dugout and then through some of the clubhouses. We have put plastic down on the carpeting, so I just ask you to stay on the the plastic as we walk through there. So if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to just shout them out. My name is John. I work in the Stadium Operations Department. This is Andy. He works in group sales. Any questions that you have, just let us know. We're going to stop at our first location right around the side. We're going to give you a little idea, and when you're driving in this morning, maybe you've noticed some of the changes already on the outside of the building. We've changed it an awful lot. We've taken off a lot of the old concrete that was on the outside of the building, which really, when you walked around on the concourse, has made it really kind of dark and dreary. Even in the afternoon, you'd have to have the lights on when you'd walk around the concourses. So we've taken off roughly about 55,000 pounds of concrete off the front of the building, and it's really opened up a lot of the concourses. We have painted it a different color, more of the terracotta, and we're going to more of a green, traditional color. All the new stadium ballpark seats as well are going to be green. But as you look, we've done an awful lot of work on the outside. Before, when the turnstiles were right up against the building, now they're going to be out along the inner perimeter road, which sometimes we used to use for buses or special events would be right along here. But there's going to be a green fence and the turnstiles. There'll be one located right out in front as always, one on the third base side, one on the first base side, and then also one behind right field. But what that does, it allows us to use all this area outside the ballpark, which was before just kind of gray concrete, and really transform it into a nice meeting area. We're adding 2 outside food stands that'll have many varieties of different types of foods as well. And we're also going to have an entertainment stage, which will be down the third base side, which will have a local acts and high school bands or professional bands in here pre-game. But some of the changes that we've, like I said, we've redone the outside in these concrete pavers. Now they're a little bit different from bricks, because bricks you can only get the one color. With the concrete pavers you can dye them to the different colors that you want to. So all these colors that you see through here, and this baseball diamond that's out in front is going to be done in the concrete pavers. Now this is going to be a regulation baseball diamond with 90-foot base pass and the pitcher's mound 60 feet 6 inches away from home plate. So it'll give you everybody an idea of really how long that run is to first base. And it also makes for a great meeting point. If you have 2 parties coming from different locations, you can say, let's just go ahead and meet at second base right out in front of the ballpark, and you can get everybody together. So that's some of the changes that we've made. Now we're going to go down on the field and really kind of give you a good idea of all the work that we've been doing in the off season.
Get to go to the bullpen. Oh, you ready for opening day?
We'll be ready.
I think you're already ready.
The opening is ready for opening day, huh?
Yes.
When is opening day? The Angels at home at the beginning of the season, or are they on the road?
We're at home. We play the 27th versus the Dodgers in the 3-way series, which is Friday night, and then the following Wednesday, which is April 1st. That's opening day, and we're playing the Angels. It's a 7 o'clock. Now we're going to point out kind of different areas of the ballpark as we go along. Anybody that's been at the stadium for years past, the area that we just came through, does anybody remember what used to be down in that area?
Bullpen.
The Angels bullpen. Used to be in that service tunnel down there, and the other service tunnel down the first base line was where the visitors used to warm up. We've changed that. The two bullpens are now right here in left field. The screened-in area where you see them one terraced on top of the other is where our new bullpens are. And the reason for that is really to get it more out in the open, so everybody in the ballpark will be able to see if the Angels have somebody warming up, or if the opposing team thinks we have a rally going and they're going to need to bring somebody in the late innings. The Angels will be the ones that are closest to the field, while the visitors are the ones that are closest to the fans. So hopefully anybody that's in left field has to give everybody a nice warm welcome to Edison Field when they're up there. So, but this whole left field area has been transformed. It used to be the old Rams end zone seats, or when we had football here. Really not that usable before because of how we used to have the outfield fence. We've moved the outfield fence back about 10 feet, and we've redone the seating dramatically so that now these are usable seats. This left field area is known as our family section. Day of game seats only in this area. $2 for kids, $4 for adults. So it makes it really affordable. We want to fill this area. Lots of different things going on. We've added new concession stands, a small Angels gift shop, and some additional restrooms up on the concourse, and it's really geared towards kids. The counters will be lower on the concession stands so kids can reach them, and then also the team store will have the smaller sizes of shirts and hats that the kids will be looking for. So really have redone this area. It's going to be a real popular area, and in opening up and taking all those seats out, it just gives the whole ballpark a different feeling. Anybody have any questions? Nope? All right, let's keep moving along. The artist rendering that we have up here gives you a good depiction of the new center field area and how it's going to look. The new center field extravaganza, the way it was created is to make it look like a California coastline and also to be a signature piece for our new ballpark. What it basically kind of does is makes it seem like a complete outfield. We do have a service tunnel that's in there that's used by our groundkeepers, but with the rock formation and with the rocks kind of wrapping over the sides of the walls, it really makes it seem like one kind of smooth, continuous area, as before you had that big opening in the center. Built within those rocks are a total of 6 geysers. One main geyser that can go up to 90 feet in the air, which is roughly about half the distance of that light tower, and then 5 smaller ones on either side. And those are interactive, that they can program it, that the louder the crowd noise gets, the higher it shoots up. It'll also be a combination of lights and fireworks within that area as well. Beyond the rock formation is our picnic area, where we're going to have the Autry Smokehouse, which is an outdoor barbecue area, and then also Homer's Cafe, which will see the return of the Angels cinnamon buns that a lot of people missed last year and told us that they missed them, so we're bringing them back this year. But once again, kind of a neat area to visit while you're here at the ballpark.
So will the sounds of the fireworks go off when the Angel hit the home run?
Right, we'll use them for pre-game, after a home run, and then after the numerous victories we'll have this year. Yes. Yes, you can. Anywhere in the ballpark you can go to. The only area that is restricted that you need to have a ticket for is the club level. But if you buy a view level ticket, a field level ticket, if you have a club level ticket, or anywhere in the outfield, you're free to move anywhere about the ballpark to visit these areas. There's no additional charges or anything to go into those areas. The picnic seating that we have out there seats 500, and it's just basically first come, first serve. I'm sorry? 90 feet as far as. Oh, I don't know. Depends. Yeah, I'm not sure. It depends on how much pressure it needs to get the thing up there. Oh, Great America?
Yeah, where the Magic Mountain?
Yeah, Magic Mountain.
Where they didn't do the 100 miles an hour.
The right field area, once again, a dramatic change of what we've had before. This whole area, once again, you can get season seats or mini plan seats, but also day of game seats as well. $4 for children and $6 for adults. But one of the big changes in this area, the outfield wall, which before was only 8 foot tall, is now 18 feet tall. So it's no farther out, but you have to hit it longer just to clear that fence. So there's going to be a lot more plays out here for Tim Salmon with the balls coming off. As you can see, the outfield wall is now solid concrete, but all the steel girdering that you see down is where the padding is going to go. So the outfielders last more than the first week of the season. So above where that steel work is we're going to have an out-of-town scoreboard, which is going to supplement the kind of small ones that we've always had here at the ballpark. It's going to be 140 foot long, and it will constantly rotate to keep everybody up to date and some of the other action around the ballpark as well. Scoreboard structure, once again, the Jumbotron, if you were here last year, was only half of its normal size, and it was out in left field. And we can only really kind of construct it that way, so we put it out in left field. Now it's going to return to its full size right in the center of the structure. On the left-hand side, we have a color matrix board. On the on the right-hand side, we have a black and white matrix board, and then underneath it is the game in progress board with the innings, runs, hits, and errors. So, real neat signature piece. It's second only in size to the one that they have in Jacobs Field in Cleveland. It's kind of.
Like 4 times the size of that. Biggest in North, biggest in the United States.
That's Canada.
Right, doesn't count. Canada's count.
What's that?
The one in Skydome.
Oh, Skydome's the biggest?
Oh, it's incredibly huge.
That's not a ballpark, it has a dome.
That's
It's
right.
artificial turf.
Yeah, the rug.
Yeah, it's a rug, like you said. Well, the great thing about the way the field is now is that it makes Cecil Fielder as fast as Kenny Lofton.
Yeah.
We sit in one of the green seats today to see what they feel like.
We have some actually out in the tent, which you can take a look at before you leave. This asphalt around here, everybody's probably thinking, wow, you got concrete walls in the outfield, now you got asphalt out in front, and we're not going to have players that'll last a month. This is actually, we're going to put a rubberized warning track down here. We had an awful lot of problems with dust. Normally about 10 times a year we have Little League days where the kids will come out before the game and march around the field. And as they're dragging their feet and stuff like that, all this dust comes popping up. But it's easier to maintain, it's a little bit easier for the athletes as well, so we're going to install that. As we walk along, we're going to take it past one of the dugout suites, and you'll see the 2 levels of seats that people will have down in this area.
$165,000. Victor takes credit card, Visa, MasterCard, American Express.
A lot of the work behind home plate was really done during the first phase of the renovation, which was between the 96 and the 97 during that off season. A lot of the work would transform the entire area. The way that we have it now is the first level where you see all the glass. That's the Diamond Club restaurant. Those are for the season ticket holders that are right behind home plate. A restaurant and a bar area in there with plenty of monitors to make sure they can keep track of the action. The next level up is our press box. That was in use last season. We can fit 100 members of the media permanently, and then we can also expand to 200 with risers for when we get to postseason play and additional media. The third level up is the radio and television booth. Mr. and Mrs. Autry's suite, which you see by Autry 26. That is their suite. and then KRLA, which is our flagship station, and then also Express, which is 1090 AM, will be Spanish broadcast of the Angels game this year as well. And then the fourth level, which is kind of hard to see, is another row of suites up on top. For the suites, I want to just mention to you real quick while we're here, is the dugout suites. These 2 rows of 6 seats right down there are the seats that you get, and the seat and the perspective that you get watching the game. You're actually closer to home plate than the pitcher is to home plate. You're right on top of the action. You can really sense, have a good feel of what's going on, see the way the ball spins, and a lot of the interaction between the players during the game. The warm-up circle is right here, so you're real close and get a great view of the game. So let's head down. We'll go to the Angels dugout.
Are they planning to put back up the retired numbers that they had up there before?
We'll go ahead. We're going to put them back up. They'll be on either sides of that outfield scoreboard in right field.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
How you doing, Joe? Good. Great. Next to you, too.
Go ahead and take a seat on the bench.
We're going in the top of the next inning.
And loose.
Scoot down. You sit here.
If they lose too many times, then they could sit in the
Okay, fellas.
Gives you a little idea for what the office is for the guys. So, but the dugout was brand new for last year. We did use it last season. It was moved down a little bit farther down the baseline to make room for the dugout suites that we have. But it gives you kind of a feel of what it's like. We did have railings out front here. We ended up taking them down because they didn't give the players a real good view of the game, but it gave them a pretty good view of some of those foul balls that come whistling in there at 90 miles an hour, so they have to keep alert at all times. The bat racks and the helmet racks are right down this end of the dugout. The 3 phones that you see right in the center here. One phone goes up to the press box for any of our media personnel. If a new player comes in or somebody that Terry Collins doesn't really know about, we can call up, kind of get some stats on them, you know, what type of pitches he likes to hit, or if it's a new pitcher, what he predominantly throws. Of course, we have the bullpen phone to get out to our new bullpens in left field, and then just a house phone as well to get to access any other areas of the ballpark. So, but it gives you kind of a feel of what it's like to get ready to come in after the bottom of the ninth. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head downstairs and we're going to show you some of the areas that you wouldn't normally see. We're going to show you the new Angels batting cage that we installed last season. We'll go through one of the dugout suites and then through the visitors and the Angels locker room. So let's go ahead. We'll head down this way.
Okay. Somebody grab somebody's hand.
Somebody's camera.
Camera bag.
Camera bag.
Oh, thank you.
Here. No, I got it in my hand. Be careful.
There you go.
I need something on this
This area which we're in right now really never existed before at the old Anaheim Stadium. Once again, during the first phase of the renovation, we came down and we had to excavate down to really utilize this area to basically create it. We've never really had it before. The old dugouts, you would walk up a ramp to the old clubhouse area, which we're going to go to next. But this kind of below field level area was never available before. So what it allowed us to do to put the dugout suites over here to my right, and then to the left, it gave us the additional room to put in an indoor batting cage, which is so useful for the players and the coaches. The coaches can come down here. Rod Carew can come come down and work with the hitters. Marcel can come down and work with the pitchers to loosen up in the off season or during inclement weather like we've been having the last couple days. So if you also notice down to the far end of the batting cage, you see some windows. That is the video coaching room, so they can set up a video camera. They can analyze the swing or the delivery of a pitch and really work on the mechanics. This batting cage is really invaluable, especially being in the American League with a designated hitter. Whoever that's going to be this year, they can be in here warming up, ready to go. They don't have to come off the bench cold to face a pitcher. So it's really helpful. We're going to head down. We're going to walk through one of the dugout suites now.
Are these doors on the left to the dugout suites?
Correct.
So the people who have those suites are going to be basically walking back and forth past the players as the players are coming.
Yeah.
And a bargain at only $165,000.
Exactly.
You take cash?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Card as well.
Where's the heavy bag going to be installed out there?
I'm sorry?
Where's the heavy bag going to be installed?
The heavy bag, they used to have one actually in the old dugout. They had the kind of stress release point. If you saw the water fountain, that was kind of the substitute for the speed bag last year. They received a couple bats. But this gives you a little bit of an idea. This is one of the finished mock suites for the dugout, or for the dugout level. It gives you an idea of the amenities that are down in here. Each one has its own restroom, a kind of a wet bar area, and then also food service that will be provided by Levy restaurants. They'll come down here and you know, in the suite service for all the catering. So, but the thing that you really pay for is those two level of seats that we saw when we were walking out before. There's a set of stairs that the two suites will share to get up to the seats, and there will also be speakers out there that you can either put on the television broadcast or the radio broadcast, whichever you prefer. But it gives you a good idea for what it's like down here. We got 4 more left. So if anybody wants to pick one up, we can get you set up before the end of the day. We're going to head over to the umpire's locker room now. Once again, this was an area that was available for the umpires this last season. It's always good to have the boys in blue have some comfortable surroundings so that strike zone doesn't get any larger for our hitters. But gives you a good idea of what they do. There's a stairwell right behind home plate which they use to get on and off to the field. Behind here are the 7 lockers that you see for the umpires. Now during a normal baseball game we only have 4 umpires out there. Does anybody have an idea why we would need 7 lockers in here?
Playoffs and one
For
series.
playoffs. You have a total of 6 umpires out in the field, and then you also have 1 alternate for postseason play, and we're certainly looking forward to that this year. So we're being a little proactive in that way to get ready for it. We also have 2 small lockers on either side, which will be for any female umpires that will eventually make their way into the major league ranks as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll continue our tour down the hallway. These will all be finished this season. We've got March 27th is the first game, so we got about 6 weeks left. This area right here is going to be the main entrance to get into the dugout suites. Down this long hallway are 2 elevators that will bring people down to this area. When they come up through the hallway, there'll be a concierge desk right in the center. Any of the people that are down here will be greeted by the concierge. Some of the other amenities that we have down here as well is off to the right. We have a conference room and also a business center off to the left with a copier or a fax, whatever you have in the office. So any of the corporations that buy these suites will be able to move an office down here to the ballpark in the afternoon, have their meetings, stay for dinner, and then watch the game as well. So it gives them a little different environment to do some work in. So let's continue down this way. What do you guys think so far? There's something to work towards in a little bit. The visitors also have a batting cage, very similar to the Angels. It doesn't have the video coaching room like the Angels have, but once again gives them an opportunity to get loosened up prior to the game, or if there's any inclement weather and things like that. What we're going to do now is we're going to walk by the visitors' dugout, which will be off to my right, and then we're going to take the long walk that a lot of our opponents have to face back to the locker room after a devastating loss to the Angels. Just follow the rubber matting. That's what we put down, obviously because of the cleats that they wear, but we're going to go ahead and we'll show you the visitors' locker room. What's that? Oh, man, it's Frank's time out the game. How you doing this morning? Good. How about yourself?
How you doing this morning? Beautiful. No rain out there yet, is there? No.
The guy in the back, the tail end tour guide, said that the Angels locker room was the Taj Mahal of the entire place.
So I'm sure we'll see
They're
that.
absolutely unbelievable.
How you doing? Part of the construction growing pains is some of the areas that we might not have quite caulked up yet. We had with all the rain last night, we had a little bit of a couple damp spots. The visitors' locker room is one of them. So watch your feet, guys. Let's have you move back for 1 second. Perfect. Watch your step on the rubber matting as we walk in here, folks.
You're not here.
As we have you go through, we're going to have you do a little contrasting comparison between the visitors and the Angels, the difference between the two. This locker room, once again, was available for the players last season. It's kind of beneficial. With all the trades in Major League Baseball, you never know when somebody from an opposing team is going to become a player on the Angels. So it's kind of nice to show them, how nice it is to play for the Angels and what a great ballpark we have. But this locker room is brand new. All the lockers around here, the metal plates that are up at the top will display each team, each player's name and number for the visiting equipment manager that would travel with them. They can set their jerseys in there as well. When we first walk in, there is a training room. All the equipment's out of there currently because of the work that we're doing. The shower room, and then as we walk by and we continue our tour, we do have a weight room for the visitors, which is uncommon in a lot of Major League ballparks, and then also the players' lounge, so you can get a bite to eat afterwards. So take a look at this, remember it, and then we're going to head down to the Angels and tell me if you notice any difference.
Pretty spitting, huh?
Morning. Good morning, sir. Who's coffee?
This lobby area, once again, will be used by the working media. The 2 elevators that we have behind us, they can take right down from the press box afterwards, can come right down to do the autographs with the visiting team or with the Angels. We also have some auxiliary locker rooms that we've provided or built into with the renovation work. That's beneficial for when we have other events in here. Last June, we had the CIF baseball finals, and some of the teams use those locker rooms as well to get ready. So we want to have other events here at the ballpark as well around the Angels season. So let's go ahead and go into the Angels locker room.
Did traffic get slurry when we were behind him? Wow, that's nice.
So it's a little bit larger than the visitors. But once again, this weight room is pretty much used year-round by any of the players that live in the Southern California area. They'll come in normally about 3 days a week and really kind of continue the regimen even during the off-season. You know, it's really hard to get back into shape, and a lot of them just stay in shape all year round, so they're ready for spring training. A lot of them have been coming down, getting ready for Tempe when they head out there for spring training, which is going to be in a couple of weeks. But they work with our trainers to develop a program to really keep them in the game. The weightlifting helps keeps their body strong and you know, to prevent the injuries from happening as much as possible. They have different workout regimens. Some will work out prior to a game. Some will come in after the game and work out. But like I said, they work with the trainers an awful lot. So if the weights don't help them keep them in shape, then they head to the training room, which unfortunately a lot of them had a visit last year. But we're going to walk through and show you some of the equipment that we use in there. They've really got past the days of just an ice pack and a little bit of Bengay after the game. We have the 4 training tables off to the side, which will be used pre-game if any of the guys have to get taped up before they go out onto the field, or any treatment that they're going to receive after the game. The equipment that we have over here, the Biodex machines, are what's used to rehab players. If somebody goes down with a leg injury, they pull a muscle in their arm, they can set all this equipment to different degrees of resistance to slowly regenerate the muscle and not to put any undue strain. But it really helps to speed the recovery because they can set the resistance that they need to redevelop that muscle. So these machines have been very beneficial. Like I said, we had to use them an awful lot last season. We hope the injury bug isn't quite as bad as last year as it will be this year. We hope to keep the guys out of here as much as possible. But along with these machines, we also have a wet room, which we're going to go through as well, which have the normal hot tubs and the jacuzzis that go in kind of after the game to soak. But there's also a machine in there that's called a Swimex. And it looks like a big jacuzzi, but what it actually is an aquatherapy system where the guys can get in there, and it has high pressure jets that actually creates a current, so if they have any type of leg injury, they can kind of walk against the current, and there's not as much strain and stress on the muscle, and they can redevelop it that way. It's kind of the latest and greatest method to get guys back on the field. So we'll take a look at that as we go through. Kind of a small room, we won't be able to all fit in it. You got it. You got it. What we did, we have 5 lockers that we went ahead and we put in kind of game form how the clubhouse kids would come down and put out their jerseys, the chairs that each one of them get, and all the equipment that they would have in each one of their lockers. But once again, really kind of overdid it a little bit in this room to make it really nice for our Angels. You know, some of the touches like the baseballs up at the top of the lockers as well, just give it a really nice feel. I don't know if you guys noticed before, the carpeting that we have through here with the stitching kind of looks like a series of baseballs. The 2 big monitors that we have here, the players can use to watch either a pass game or watch some of the other action around the majors. So one of the other things that has really gotten popular is video coaching. We do have a complete video staff here with the Angels that will constantly pre-record games that are being played against upcoming opponents to give all the players an idea of the pitchers that they might be facing or the type of hitters that they're going to face. And then Marcel Ashman can meet with the pitching staff, talk to them kind of about the strategy and how they're going to pitch certain players as opposed to the other ones. And the hitters can work with Rod Carew to see how they're going to fight off those hard pitches and which ones that they really want to take. So we'll go by the video coaching room. That, like I said, that's what's used between the players and the coaches to kind of get that reconnaissance or sneak peek of what they're going to face before they go out on the field. Right behind us in the closer blue door is the video room. That's where our videos will work. We have a total of 3 satellites that we continuously pull down games, and they're able to create videotape to highlight certain players, certain pitchers, to give them an idea of what they're going to face before they go out there. And it's really, kind of the latest and greatest thing as well is to give all the players that are not going to go up there cold. They know, by facing a lot of these players before, but if we have some young players that come up with the rookies or something like that, that way they can get a little idea of what to face before they get either on the mound or in the batter's box. If we have any movie fans in here, if anybody saw the movie The Fan, it was filmed down here at Anaheim Stadium. Certain portions of it, while Wesley Snipes played for the Giants, they couldn't film up at Candlestick or 3Com Park because of the football season. But this corridor was one of the areas that they shot some scenes in. And while it's kind of an menacing-looking corridor, they actually came in and rebuilt a corridor, even though they're in a corridor. So it kind of gives you an idea of how crazy Hollywood is at times.
I know.
cool, the field irrigation pump.
We're going to make our way back up to the tent. Outside, inside the tent, we've got a lot of neat things for you to do. We do have some players that are in there right now signing autographs. We have a batting cage, also a speed pitch if you want to test your arm. We have some food from Ogden. And then if anybody has any questions about getting tickets, we have a lot of our sales staff there as well. Right now we have on sale, obviously, season tickets. Also a 20-game mini plan where you get to pick the games that you want to go to. It's really kind of a neat plan, and the prices are really affordable this year as compared to some of the things that we've had last year. But I want you to go up, kind of enjoy yourselves. Terry Collins, the manager of the team, has been right outside the door kind of welcoming everybody before they go into the tent. So what we're going to do when we get up back closer to the parking lot, we're going to get everybody together, and we're going to kind of, Terry's really excited about this season, and he wants all of our fans to be excited as well. So we're going to gather everybody together before we go in there and get a one Angels cheer going. So let's head up. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. If you have any other questions, like I said, I'm available. Andy can answer any of the questions as well. But we hope you had a good time here today.
Do you want to take? Maybe we'll give you that.
That's right. Whoever made me sign it.
But Tony Bell's on one.
Get all the adults and cheers on the Once again, we have about 6 weeks to get all the work finished up for you when you want to come back here. We have 2 games of interest. Obviously, the 27th is going to be the Freeway Series with the Dodgers, and an opening night is on April 1st with the New York Yankees. It's a 7:05 game. So please go in. If you have any questions about tickets, there's plenty of people to answer your questions. So Terry's over there waiting. Let's get everybody together. Let's get everybody as much in there as possible. See, I told you the adults wouldn't want to do it. On the count of 3, we're going to give a real loud Angels. We got some speakers we got to drown out. So everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Angels! There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. See ya.
Great talk.
See ya.
You want a picture with Terry?
Do you want to take this, Terry?
I'll take this picture though. It looks like a huggy.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. How you doing? I'm Terry Collins. Nice to meet you. Hi, buddy. How are you? How'd you like your tour? Good luck this day. Thank you very much. We'll need it. How you doing? Thank you. I know, Terry. Nice to meet you. Hi there, pal. Hey, how'd you like your tour? We'll have some fun in here. All right? We would have. Billy wouldn't have fell. He would have. How do you do? We're gonna this year. How do you do? Thank you. Thanks for coming. You want me to sign your hat?
Here, sign your hat.
I hope you come down and see Snark.
Yeah, it's always the best. I'm going to bring a lot of people there.
You want to take his hand now? Take his hand and give me his autograph.
Strong? Yeah, Dan or a long Dan.